Thank you all for being here. We had a very good discussion this afternoon on Libya and our concern about the Gaddafi regime's escalating attacks on its own people. We all agreed that NATO will only act if there is demonstrable need, a sound legal basis, and strong regional support. We also agreed to continue planning for all military options. I welcome SACEUR's decision to reposition naval assets in the central Mediterranean to enhance our ability to monitor the UN arms embargo and to provide support for humanitarian efforts by the UN, EU, and others. This builds on the decision earlier this week to increase round-the-clock aerial surveillance of Libya. Be happy to take a couple of questions. Bob Burns.
Right here, Mr. Secretary. Could you give us any details on the number or type of ships that are going to be moved? Are they being moved closer, or is it an increased number of ships? And could you also say whether the no-fly zone option, which the Secretary General mentioned, is essentially dead for now?
Well, I would say that, first of all, with respect to the latter, planning will continue under SACEUR's auspices, but that's the extent of it with respect to a no-fly zone. In the first instance, it's my impression that we're really not talking so much about increasing the number of ships as it is repositioning ships that are already in the region.
Closer to Libya, you mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, doesn't NATO, in effect the U.S., risk looking powerless here as these attacks continue on the rebels and they're increasingly in an untenable position?
Well, I think the key factor here is, first of all, the limitations of the UN Security Council Resolution 1970, which even when it comes to the embargo, does not provide the authority for enforcement. So if there were to be a need for enforcement, there would need to be a new UN Security Council resolution, even for that purpose.
So one last one from a European. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Yusuf from my News Egyptian division. While you are putting your plan, are you consider also the opinion, the European opinion, since the European opinion have, let's say, a register against any NATO activity in Arab world?
We are very mindful of opinion in the region, and and that's one of the reasons that one of the three central criteria with respect to any action requires strong regional support. I think that a number of ministers made clear that we wanted to put ourselves in a position to assist the Arab League, the African Union, or the UN in this endeavor, and very sensitive to NATO being responsive to those organizations rather than taking an initiative on its own.
Thank you all.